we begin this hour with breaking news, and it involves a military exercise in the Northern Territory. Sky News has confirmed a helicopter carrying US Marines has crashed off the coast of Darwin during exercises that involved the Australian Defence Force. Let's go straight to our political reporter, Cameron Redden in Canberra, who's across this story with the emerging details. Cam, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Simon, we're just under a month on from the Taipan helicopter crash in the Whitsundays, which killed 4 Australian personnel. And just in the last few minutes, Sky News has managed to confirm that another helicopter, a different model in a different set of exercises, has crashed this morning during exercises off the coast of Darwin. They're known as Predators Run exercises. You can see on your screen there, relatively regular exercises. These take place every few years involving 5 different nations: Australia, the United States, the Philippines, Indonesia, as well as Timor-Leste. We can show you the kind of personnel that are involved, roughly 2,400 or 2,500 in total, including several hundred from these different nations. What we do know about this crash, Simon, is it's very early days, but that at around 11 o'clock this morning, a helicopter called a V-22 Osprey has gone down near Melville Island. We can show you here, just off the coast of Darwin, these exercises were taking place in and around this area. Around 11 o'clock this morning, this helicopter has gone down with as many as 20 people on board. It's very early days, I'm told. Emergency crews are just responding to this in the last hour or so, are sending crews to the area. What we don't know exactly is the precise number of how many people are involved, the extent of injuries. I've been told it is possible that casualties will result from this, but it's still very early days in terms of any investigation or even accessing the site where this helicopter went down. It is currently the understanding of Defence that there were only American personnel, US Marines, on board this chopper when it went down. It's not expected any Australians were on board at the time. There is also a documented history of issues as recently as 2022 of other Osprey helicopters having crashes in the United States carrying Marines on board. And in those instances, sadly, there were fatalities. We don't yet at this stage, Simon, know for sure whether there are casualties here. There are some conflicting reports, although the way it's been phrased to me is that it is possible there are casualties as a result of this. So look, Simon, just to recap that breaking news, very early days. The understanding is that this exercise will be paused until there's more information at hand. But a helicopter near Darwin has crashed. It was carrying around 20 Defence personnel. We believe all of them were US Marines. Look, this is a developing situation. We will hear from the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, who's in Karratha later today. We're expecting him to be asked on this when he speaks to the media around 3 o'clock Eastern time, there or thereabouts. But some very troubling news coming out of Darwin, Simon, and we'll bring you more details as they come to hand.
Oh, it's certainly troubling, Cam, and it's only, I guess, around about a month since that horrific incident that took place off the coast of the Whitsundays. And that incident, from my knowledge in speaking with many people in the defence community, it impacted so many people in that defence community, not just those directly involved, the families of those involved in that chopper crash, but the many countries and nations that were in Australia for exercise Talisman Sabre. As you say, these are different. These are separate exercises. There is certainly a lot of military activity happening off the coast and also on land at the moment in Australia, Cam. So as you speak to your sources and get more information, do we expect to hear anything from our Defence Minister as well this afternoon, or do you expect it will be addressed by Anthony Albanese?
Well, let's wait and see, Simon. They're still in the process of gathering information here. So at this stage, it is very much a fact-finding mission. We don't even know, let alone what caused this, but exactly where the helicopter has gone down. We know it's gone down in the vicinity of Melville Island during these exercises. We don't still yet know the precise number of people that were on board. So there's still very much to go here. It is possible we might hear from the Defence Minister later today. We will see. That's a possibility. We also know, you mentioned the Taipan crash from a month ago. That fleet remains grounded. There's still a long and lengthy, arduous investigation going on. It was put to me that we still might not know exactly what happened in that incident, and important to underline, different incidents. It's too early to jump to conclusions with what's happened here, but we may not know for months until that investigation, multiple investigations are finalised and that fleet remains down. I should also note that Australia does not operate these V-22 Osprey helicopters. This is a US piece of kit operated by US Marines that has gone down, and it's not believed at this stage that any Australian personnel were on board when this helicopter went down. And as I say, we are expecting an update from the Prime Minister after 3 o'clock Eastern. We'll see if there's any further information to come out of that. He's going to be briefed, I understand, in the coming hours by the defence team. So, look, troubling news,
just
Simon.
Tell me again, Cam, which type of... Just tell me again which Osprey you've heard this may be.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's a V-22 Osprey helicopter. It's an amphibious vehicle. They're able to operate on the water. You can see some of them on your screen right now. But important to note, these are not Australian pieces of kit. Australia does not operate, does not own these Osprey helicopters. It's a US Marine kit. And this is an exercise that happens quite regularly between the 5 nations, involving troops from right around the world. A couple of hundred US Marines involved with training those in Indonesia and the Philippines and Timor-Leste as well. So not a small operation by any means, Simon. Probably not the size and scale of something like Talisman Sabre, but still quite significant, in particular when you think about those defence ties in the region. It's something that is viewed of quite significance within Australian defence circles.
I'll just note, and I was certainly reporting in Queensland at the time, in 2017 off the coast of Rockhampton, a MV-22 Osprey crashed, and that was one of Queensland's worst military disasters. So that was only 6 years ago, and involving what we understand at Sky News to be a similar type of aircraft. And certainly that incident in 2017 required a major investigation, not only by the Royal Australian Air Force, but also the US Marines. But this incident, the early reports we're hearing, as you say, a military helicopter, an Osprey, has crashed off the coast of Darwin. Cam Redden in Canberra, I appreciate you bringing us those details. It will come back to us if you do hear any more. We'll just show our viewers again where Melville Island is off the coast of Darwin, or maybe we're not able to show that map at this time, but of course it's a very remote area, Melville Island, off the coast of Darwin. So the minute we get more information, more concrete confirmation, we will come back to our viewers and bring that more of that breaking news.